Okay, so in today's, we are going to learn about functions. Okay, functions are the equivalent of C# voids, Python defs, DEFs, C++ voids, C's voids. You know, they're functions. They're functions. So we're gonna make a thing. So we have to define a function. Okay, so we're gonna localize a function. So instead of we're not making a variable here, we're going to make a function. Function is a keyword. Then we're going to store the variable of key. So we're localizing. So if we were just doing like local key, it wouldn't do anything because it's not a function. It's just we want to make it a function. So local function key, or local function print, and we have to end this off. We'll call this hi actually. Say underscore hello. Local function say hello. So this is how you end every single Lua statement, every single if statement, every single thing in Lua has to have an end property, except for like variables and tables. Functions have to end, if statements have to have an end. I'll explain if statements in the next video too. So local function say hello. We're going to do print hello world. And then we're just gonna get rid of the lines there. Now we're gonna call say underscore hello, just like that. If we run Control-Shift-B, hello world. We just ran this function. Functions are reusable code. Anything you put in here can be called multiple times. I can call this as many times as I want, and it'll just run that many times. Those are what functions are. Functions can hold arguments. Say name, and we'll pass in a name. So here's the cool thing about Lua. Lua does not need types. Name is now a local variable inside of this function. So we could just do print name, and it'll work because name is defined inside of this function. It's defined as an argument. So how this works is when we call say name, we gotta pass in a name. These can be anything. Now the thing about that is let's say you needed to print a name, but somebody put it in integer. You would have to add a check for that because there's no types values for anything. I mean, you could put an integer in here and it will still work because print handles that for you. But let's say you were doing like an input system, you would need to check to make sure it's an integer. But that's for a later time. You can pass in you can make as many arguments for your thing as you want. So I'm gonna explain how that works now. So we're gonna make a new function for this just to keep stuff organized. We'll call this local function infinite args, and Lua allows you to use arguments. Okay, so dot is going to be our infinite arguments. All right, this is how the print function works. It takes in this, so we can do print dot. So now if I pass in if I call infinite args John and Doe, both of them will be printed, as you can see. In here, for what I'm pretty sure, I actually don't know if this works. Let me just double check. I might be totally wrong. No, okay, I forgot how you access the actual local args equals table dot. So this is getting a little bit advanced now, but it should be. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. We are defining a table called arguments. We're going to wrap all of the infinite arguments we take into a table. So that way, what we can do now, args1, it's only going to print out John's name. As you can see, we can take in as many arguments as we want, but we can also only print we don't have to use every single one of them, but it's good to be able to take them. So this is an example of that. Now we're just gonna, for the purpose of this, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna print everything because it makes more sense. So we're just gonna we don't even need this right now. That's just an example. These are functions. Functions are cool. Another way to write functions is local yes equals function. Lua, you'll see this a lot sometimes, especially in tables, which I will explain after the next video. So we can do the same thing here. This would be an argument local print. We could just print. We'll just call this text. Why not? Doesn't really matter. We're just gonna. So basically, this is just a different way of writing this. This is a different way of writing this. We did the same thing. It's just this is in front of the function, and we localized the variable. Then we declared it as a function. So, like if you localize yes to equal 55, it's going to equal 55. But yes is going to equal a function now. Yes equals the function. Yes is now a function called, the function is now called yes, basically. Function is just a keyword. Function just means reusable code, but it's not useful unless you store it somewhere, because what's the point of a function? That's what we're doing. We're storing it as yes. You just do it up here, but you declare it as a keyword before you do anything. It's the same way. It does the same purpose. Same purpose. I don't really know if one's faster or not, but they are there. Okay. Those are tables. We're going to get into conditionals now.